if you don't know a lot about my story, I was an early childhood educator. That's what I went to school for, and I got my degree in psychology as well at York. And then I did a lot of various jobs over the years and ended up in the daycare field. When my kids were little, I ran a home daycare at home in a townhouse. I had two dogs, two kids, and excuse me, and a lot of other kids in the house all the time. So there was equipment and there was toys and everything was um, all over. And I did contain it. I did find ways to organize it. And I knew that when I moved into a bigger house that I was going to stop doing the daycare. So I needed another outlet. I needed another business because I really wanted, hi Lori, thanks. Thanks for watching. I needed another business idea. And I had helped clear my grandmother's estate back in 2000. And I had actually really enjoyed the process. Of getting rid of everything and stripping the wallpaper and painting, and we actually had a estate sale in her apartment, and never again. That was one thing I knew that I didn't want to do, and that's one of the reasons that I do max sold online auctions, because it is way better, and maybe I'll talk about that another week, the differences between the auctions and auction houses and things like that. So yeah, so I really enjoyed that, and I helped out another family member that was having some difficulties letting go of stuff, and got rid of a lot of stuff there, and I enjoyed being the kind of catalyst for that. And so the last reason, I guess, that I got into this field was because, well, I really love helping people. And I had an organizer come to my house when I was running my daycare, and she had brought a team of 4 people with her. And she had done this out of the goodness of her heart. And so I was going through a rough time. And so they cleaned out, or they organized, I should say, all the different areas, and I kept them clean for a long time. And I said to her at one point in the conversation, I was like, okay, I think I really want to do this. I think what you're doing is so cool. And I don't really know a lot about it, but I think I want to do it. So fast forward to 2010, and I decided to open my business, and I called it Clutter Relief Services. So that was when we moved to Stony Creek. But I still needed to work jobs as well. I still needed to have an income. So I did do some daycare again. And then I worked at Home Depot as a cashier for 4.5 years until I was brave enough to make the leap into full-time businesswoman. So it was the best decision ever. I did that in June of 2017, and I love how my business has grown. I love how my team has grown, and all of the amazing projects that I've worked on since then. And oh, I forgot to turn off my mute. Okay. Also, I really love helping people that are overwhelmed. So does anyone have any questions? Please post them, because I'm here to answer your questions. Of course, I can talk about myself forever. Hi, Tina. Thanks for watching. So I just purchased this new ring light, and so I think the light is okay on my face, but you can let me know. I know if I turn my eyes, you can see these circles in my eyes there. But I just got it from Amazon, and I think it's working okay. The tripod's holding the phone, so and that is working. So the only question that I had, I was looking through the Instagram and my Facebook page, and was how many linens do I need to keep? So thank you. Thanks for letting me know about the lighting. They have all these different options for for the brightness and stuff. So thanks, Lori. And every time I touch the table, it's moving the camera, so I'm gonna really try not to touch the table. So linens, you want to have at least 2 sets for every bed in your house, and hopefully in the proper size of the bed. So this is, so that way when you're pulling off one, you can put one in the wash and then you can put the other one back on the bed, and you can always interchange those. So if you decide that you want to buy a new set of sheets, maybe they had a good deal or you really like the color, maybe you're changing the color scheme in your room, just make sure that you get rid of the or donate the one that you least like or that's in the worst shape, so that you don't start stockpiling. A lot of times I'll go into a senior's house and I'll look in their linen closet and they've got linens from 20 years ago, even 30 years ago. Last year I was doing a project and I'm opening these boxes in the linen closet, and they looked really nice but very vintagey, and I opened them up and it's like a set of sheets that the lady had gotten as a wedding gift like maybe 46 years ago, and she's like, "Oh, those are new." And I'm like, "Yeah, they haven't been used, but they're not really new." So I don't know if people are keeping things because they are afraid to let them go if they got them as a gift and they're really not going to use them, or if they're just keeping them because it's a good, like how you keep your good china and you don't use it, you use it on a very special occasion. So anyhow, I was able to donate those sheets, and I often find things like this where I will see new items, but yet they've actually been in the house for many years and just never been used. So for linens, again, 2 sets for every bed. If you have a cottage or another home, 2 sets for that home as well. I know one of my friends was saying she has an RV, so you could have 1 set in the RV, and then when you come home from your trip, you put them in the wash and you can put them back on again. So you don't really need to have 2 sets for the RV. For your towels, I would suggest for your beach towels, probably 1 for each family member. If you have a pool, you can have a little bit more because oftentimes you have guests and beach towels are great. You can lie on them, and they're really big so you can have a lot of drying sessions if you're going in and out of the pool. For the bath towels, I kind of go by about 4 per person. Now, if I went up to my closet, I probably have more than 4 right now, but I'm going to say 4 per person, especially if you have a small linen closet. For hand towels, 2 per bathroom, or what did I say? Oh no, I said 4 per bathroom. 4 per bathroom if you put 2 out. So 2 out, 2 in the wash, and then interchange. And with washcloths, that's kind of varies. I don't know how many people use washcloths. I've never used them. When the kids were little, I used the baby washcloths for their faces, and well, for bathing as well, but those you get rid of after they're babies because they're pretty worn out. You can use them for dust rags if you want. So any linens that you're not using, that you have a surplus of, for sheets and let me think, blankets and towels can go to animal shelters. They will gladly take them. And sheets, they can go to any of the donation places, donation drop-offs. And if you have towels that are frayed a lot, then you might want to cut them up and use them as rags. Or you can just use them maybe for your dog, or for, you can have a couple in the basement just in case there's, a flood, a toilet floods. It's always good to have a couple of towels. You don't really want to use your nice bath towels or your nice beach towels if your toilet's overflowing. You kind of just want to use what's not so great. So keeping a couple of those is fine for that type of situation. So thanks for watching, Marianne. Nice to see you. So that's for linens. A lot of other times when I'm opening older homes, linen closets, there is a lot of tablecloths and napkins, cloth napkins. Now, I would like to know from the people that are watching, when was the last time you used a cloth napkin at a dinner for yourself? And when was the last time you put a fancy tablecloth on your dining room table? So for me, I would say for dining room, if you're hosting Christmas, then a Christmas tablecloth is good. And if you you can have an everyday one, maybe you have one for a season, and then also you can have maybe one set of linen napkins, but cloth napkins, I want to say. It could be made out of linen, but you really don't need them. You don't for 5. Okay, so Lori's saying 5 years since she used one, and I know Lori doesn't have a formal dining room right now, so yeah, definitely something that you can pass on. Now, I'm sure that they can be used for other things, but you don't need to do that. So thank you, Dale and Wendy, for saying I look great. I think it's the lipstick myself, but yeah, thanks. So let me see what Wendy has asked me here. I'm trying to, It says see more and it's not working. Okay, so I can sort of see half of your question, Wendy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about guilt. And what I mean by guilt is guilt when you receive a gift that you don't really love or need, or, you know, it's just not your taste, and you're just not sure what to do with it. So when people give you gifts, they want to give that to you because they love you, or they care about you, or they're coming into you're going to a dinner and you need a hostess gift type thing. Oftentimes there's generic gifts. There's the wine, there's the candles, there's the scents. Sometimes people want, and you just, if you don't love it and you don't find it useful, then let it go, because these people were just giving you these gifts as a memento of them. It's not a memory. It's not, you know, if they bought it in a store, then it's fine to maybe you can even return it. Depends where it came from, but it's fine to regift it. It's fine to donate it. It's fine to just let it go. So I am giving you permission right now to let go of anything in your life that no longer serves you. And so when you're looking around your house and you see a whole bunch of things, say that your mother's gifted you over the years, right? But maybe your mother just doesn't know your taste. And she's kind of, you know, you're like more like to wear black and white, and she's, you know, giving you all these like floral prints. So maybe keep one if you really need to, like if you feel obligated and, okay, next time I go out to dinner with mom, I'll wear this print because I think she thinks I'm going to look great in it. But get rid of all the other ones. And if she asks, which she probably won't, but if she asks, just feign ignorance, like, oh, it must be in the wash, or, oh, you know, I mean, if you want to tell the truth, tell the truth. Tell her that it's not your style. Maybe ask her, if you're going to buy me a gift, Mom, maybe we can go shopping together and you can see what my taste is and we can try on some stuff and you can buy me something that I actually am going to wear. So that is a really good point. And for kids as well, sometimes it's hard, especially as the kids get older, they have their own tastes. They don't always like what you like. I was at Plato's Closet today with my daughter, and actually it was yesterday, and she's going through the racks, and she's 19, and I used to know exactly what would look good on her, exactly what would fit her. I knew her style to a T, and that was about till she was maybe 14, 15. And now I'm looking through these racks and I'm like, oh, do you like this? And do you like this? And I think this would look good on you. And she would just be like, no, no. And I'm like, but you have this type of clothes in your drawer. You don't like it? She goes, oh, no, no, that's, it's too short, or the sleeves are too long, or it's too stripy, or it's not the right color. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to try anymore. You just figure out what looks good on you. I'll give my opinion in the change room, and then, maybe we can get something. So Dale's asking, what should you do with clothing you don't need or want? So again, like with the gift thing, just give it away if it's not your style. Also, oftentimes with parents, you will end up with when you have small children, you'll end up with like garbage bags. Say the neighbor's given you their hand-me-downs, or your sister has given you hand-me-downs, and you'll end up with this garbage bag. So what I would say to that is, and what I used to do, so I used to have a garbage bag system with my neighbor behind me, and our kids were like, her kid was like 5, and then I had a 4-year-old, then she had a 3-year-old, and I had a 1-year-old. So, and they were all girls, so they just kind of went down through the clothes. But near the end, I would bring over the garbage bag to her, and she would actually go through it right there on her stairs, and she would go through it, and she would look at it all, and she'd be like, oh yes, this is nice, this is nice, no, 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 this is nice. And she'd end up maybe with 6 or 7 things, and the rest I would just take over to Salvation Army and donate it. So that's what I did with that, and I think it's great. Oftentimes I'll come to an overwhelmed family's home, and I'll be finding garbage bags of clothes that are, either too big or too small, or somebody gave it to them and they had never even looked at it. So just do yourself a favor. If you can't look at it when it comes in, then don't accept it. And only if you're handing down things to people, or even if you're handing down things to your own kids, only keep things that are, really fit your first kid well. Sometimes people don't like the buttons, right, for the onesies, or they don't like the zippers. And so whatever you found comfortable for your kid, somebody else will probably find comfortable as well. And make sure it's not stained, it's not torn, and those are the things that you can hand down. When my kids were younger, we had a lot of sales, mom's sales, and I made money that way. But I don't know if they do as many of those now with a Facebook Marketplace and other Facebook groups where you can sell things on a regular basis. We used to like stockpile all the things that we weren't using and then sell them all at a table. And it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work as well. So clothes, yes, if you're not wearing it, go through it. And what I do is hi Emma, thanks for watching. I have a rule. So I went clothes shopping last week, and I bought some new clothes, and I now have a laundry basket full of clothes to donate, because I have a rule, I cannot have more hangers. So if I don't have enough hangers to fit the new clothes, then I need to get rid of something. And I know kind of every 6 months what I really don't grab, what I don't go to grab in the closet. There's always some go-tos. And so those are the ones that I will choose on a regular basis. And those are the ones I think that everybody should have. You're all going to have your go-tos. They say that you wear, I don't know what it is, like 15% of your closet. And yeah, okay, thanks, Dale. I don't have too many clothes. Okay, but anyways, moving on. So that's what I do with clothes. Okay, so Wendy wants to know the difference between keeping things for a rainy day or hoarding. So Huge difference. And we actually don't call people hoarders anymore. We say they have hoarding tendencies. And it's very common that somebody will call and they'll go, oh, my husband's a hoarder, or my wife's a hoarder. And then you go to their house and they're really not a hoarder. They just have a lot of stuff, or they have a lot of collections. So basically, when you have hoarding tendencies, you are unwilling to part with anything. So it is very hard for your brain. It's something in your brain that is not working properly, and I'm not a scientist or a psychiatrist, but similar with anxiety or depression, there's something in your brain that is not working properly. I guess that's a good way to say it, and you can take medicine. But with hoarding tendencies, they don't have anything yet for that. So a lot of intensive therapy can help, but it is a very hard illness to stop. And oftentimes you have to wait till the person has passed away or moved on, been forced to move out, that you can actually clear their things. So hi Shannon, thanks for watching. So saving things for a rainy day. Okay, well, is it umbrellas? Because you might need some. Okay, that's my really bad sense of humor. It's okay to save some things for a rainy day, but you don't need to save everything. So give me an example. What kind of things would you save for a rainy day? And that's what I guess I could help you with that. So some people, if you want to say, instead of rainy day, if you want to say nuclear explosion or zombie attack or something like that, if you're saving it for that, then, well, you might have a good reason. No, just kidding. A lot of people will go to Costco, or they'll go to the grocery store and something will be on sale, and it will be like, oh, you know, the soup is 5 for $4, so I'm gonna just buy 10. It was only $8 and I got 10 soups. And then those soups just sit there and they sit there and they sit there. And yet the grocery store is less than 5 minutes away. You can always go get that soup. The soup is going to be on sale probably once a month. That's usually what happens. If you look through the flyers, usually once a month you can find whatever it is you're looking for. So we don't want to stockpile. We don't want to stockpile our freezers, and we don't want to stockpile our dry goods. You don't need 200 rolls of toilet paper. You do not need to have 27 jars of pasta sauce, because everything is so close, and you just what happens is it expires. It expires, you don't realize it, and then you end up throwing it out. Or crafts. Yes, you don't need, so buy the crafts that you're going to use at the time. Do not buy crafts because you love them, because then buying the crafts turns into the hobby, and then it can get overrun. Because you can love so many things when you're out shopping, but do you actually have a space for them in your home? And if you're going to do crafts, which I've seen a lot with, say, material, can't even think of the word. Hi, Cam. If you have a lot of material, or you have a lot of yarn, or you have a lot of whatever it is, sometimes you can get overrun, so that your actual craft space where you can do your craft, you can't perform it anymore. So right now I have a lady who has a sewing room in her basement, and she cannot get to the sewing machine. So she brought this portable sewing machine upstairs to her dining room table, but she eventually does want to have a sewing room again. So we're going to make that happen for her, and so that she's actually going to be able to have her sewing room, and then she'll have some shelving on the side, so she'll be able to put her different projects that she's working on, and anything that's not part of that sewing room or crafty is going out of that room. So just make sure that when you're buying crafts, you're buying them because you're going to use them. I have been to many homes where they have material from the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and the 2010s, and you know, these things go out of style. They're not, you don't need to stockpile material. You don't need to stockpile yarn. You can always find those things in the store. And if you can't, I'm sure somebody's selling it online secondhand because they've stockpiled it. Now they're realizing that they have too much and they need to downsize. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining in. So I was going to talk about, I see I only have 4 minutes left. I can't believe I've talked for that long. I hope you aren't all getting bored and you've learned something. Has anybody learned anything from this live? Is it worth me doing? Please let me know. I'd love your input. And if there's any last questions you have, then I would like to hear them. Is there any last thing that I could answer for you? And what can you believe? You can. Okay, Dale. Let me think. Last words of wisdom. Do not shop alone. It can be very bad. Oh, thanks, Lori. Yes, do not shop alone unless you're doing the groceries. You can oftentimes buy things that you don't necessarily need. And oh, yes, I do talk so much. You're right. And you can buy things that maybe aren't your style. So and you also, when you're shopping alone, sometimes you're doing it to escape your own house. And then when you get back, you've got these bags of things and you need to find somewhere to put those bags of things. So maybe some of your family members don't see them. So you start to hide them. You're like squirrel them away. And then they never get opened because you've already moved on to the next project. You've already moved on to something. So just be really careful about falling into that trap of making shopping a hobby. It's not only is it really bad on your pocketbook, but it's also really bad to add clutter to your life. So anyhow, if you want to know more about organizing in general, you can go to organizersincanada.com. I am a part of the Professional Organizers of Canada since 2011, and I love the collaboration with my other, not team members, because we all have our own businesses, but everybody that is on my team has their own business, and they are wonderful at what they do, and we all collaborate when we're on bigger projects. So definitely check out Professional Organizers of Canada, especially if you're not in the Hamilton area, which is where I'm talking from today. And we will see you. Oh my goodness, I've got 1 minute left. Okay. I will be here next Sunday, 8:30, same time. Also, one last thing, please let your friends know about my March Messiest Room contest. And I want people to be posting one of the rooms in their house. If you think it's messy, then maybe someone else will think it's messy. And please don't be ashamed of it. Just post it and we'll have people vote on it, and then you can get the help that you need. And that would be wonderful. I'm sure that you would appreciate it, and the stress of having that room so messy will get off your back. So anyways, have a great night, have a great week, and take care.